Bhagavata Purana calls the Divine Mother as Mahavidya, the supreme knowledge. She is the mother of the universe, existing even before the beginning of time. She appears to her devotees in 10 forms called the Das Mahavidyas. These are her tantric forms, each symbolizing an aspect of her energy. Their worship was once performed in secret, in jungles, cremation grounds, and the wilderness of Mother Nature. A lack of proper spiritual guidance and physical harm were real possibilities for the seeker as they navigated their external and internal worlds, but not anymore. Step into the digital realm of the Dash Mahavidyas. Unlock awakened mantras, access sacred fire offerings, and invoke each Mahavidya with a dedicated spiritual practice. Reveal the wisdom, devotion, and supreme spiritual consciousness that has always existed in you. For every Mahavidya you awaken, you will be granted a boon. Walk the path of Mahavidya Tantra. Its esoteric practices will undo the chains that bind your mind and fill you with untold devotion and bliss. Peace, wealth, happiness, and freedom can be yours. All you need is sincerity. Break free and awaken the divine goddess in all her glory. Jai Shri everyone. I believe I'm live now, so you should be able to see me. Thank you very much for joining me on this beautiful day for this very beautiful moment. So we'll start with a little invocation to Divine Mother, because I guess any other way would not be appropriate. श्रीविद्यां शिववामभागनिलयां ह्रीङ्कारमन्त्रोज्ज्वलां श्रीचक्रयङ्कितबिन्दुमध्यवसतीं श्रीमत्सभानायिकाम् श्रीमत्षण्मुखविघ्नराजजननी श्रीमज्जगन्मोहिनी मीनाक्षीं प्रणतोऽस्मि सन्ततमहं कारुण्यवारानिधिम् सिन्दूरारुणविग्रहां त्रिनयनां तारानायकशेखरां स्मितमुखीं पीनवक्षोरुहाम् पाणिभ्यामलिपूर्णरत्नचषकं रक्तोत्पलं बिभ्रतीं सौम्यां रत्नघटस्थरक्तचरणां ध्यायेत् पराम्बिकाम्. All glories to Divine Mother. First of all, I offer my obeisance to the Divine in you, with whose grace we're all here right now, this moment. Welcome to the launch of Tantra Sadhana. It's a very big moment for me, for you, for our team,
because we've been working on it for almost 3 years, but out of which 2 years absolutely with a full-on team. And I pretty much started working on this ever since we launched the Sadhana app, which was almost 3 years ago. Now, there are many, many misconceptions about Tantra in the world out there. I thought, I wasn't sure how much detail I should cover today with you when it comes to Tantra. But I think it might help to understand the origin of Tantra a little bit, so you know the difference. Like you can differentiate from, let's say, the Shad Karma in Tantra, which is Maran, Chatan, Vashikaran, Sammohan, Vidveshan, Stambhan, and so on, and the real Tantra, or the so-called Vamachar practices, because of which Tantra has gained a notorious kind of reputation in many parts of the world. You see, tantric practices actually existed even before the Vedic era. And the tribes of Rudra, Lord Shiva, were the first ones to propagate Tantra. In fact, all of scriptures that he has spoken are called Agama. Agama is where Mother Goddess asks a question and Shiva answers. And Nigam is where the reverse happens, where Mother is answering the question and Lord Shiva is asking those questions. So they existed before even the Vedic practices were there. And if you want to understand the various species or the races that were there of Devas, Manavas, and Rudras, and Yakshas, and others, I encourage you to just touch upon a little my book, Legend of the Goddess. There I've covered it. So as the Vedas evolved, and in the beginning we only had three Vedas. There was Rig Veda, there was Samved, there was Yajurved, and there was no Atharva Veda, because Atharva Veda documented, or at that time the transmission was oral, all the practices of Tantra as we know today. However, what we know today has been polluted to a great degree, but all those practices emerged from Atharva Veda. And it was Prashar Rishi who asked Ved Vyasa to get Atharva Veda included as one of the main Vedas. And due to his influence in the world, political as well as his connections with Hastinapur at that time, he was somebody who could get that done. Prior to that, if you read Sankhya Yoga, we had three of everything, three guna, three modes of material nature, three kinds of yagna, three kinds of sukha, three kinds of dukkha, three kinds of karma, and three kinds of everything, and Trika Veda, and which was actually also the basis of Kashmir Shaivism's Trika philosophy, which is a different branch altogether. But tantric practices that emerged at the time had five different schools of Tantra. There was the Dakshinachar, there was Vamachar, there was Kolachar, and there was Samyachar, and then there was Mishrachar. Now, Mishrachar was called the mixed path, so which had left-handed practices and right-handed practices. It emerged much later, and then it was particularly taken up in parts of India, notably Bihar, Uttar Pradesh, and West Bengal. Now, if you look at, for example, the music today, what happens? We are no longer singing pure ragas in our mainstream music. Our mainstream music has fusion. It's got Western influence. We are talking about chords. We're talking about harmonization. We're talking about modes and scales and whatnot. Similarly, what happened when the original tantric practices were prevalent in India, which, as I shared with you, had been existing from the pre-Vedic era? When those practices became very dominant, about 150 years ago, two significant events happened. One was this person called Sir John Woodruff, who was a magistrate, a judge in India, a British guy, and he penned down, by the name of Arthur Evelyn, a book called The Serpent Tower, and also Shakti and Shakt, I think. So with those two books, he took Tantra to the West. But what he did was something quite remarkable. He spoke about the pristine nature of Tantra, as opposed to the tantric practices as such. Until then, Tantra was seen as hedonistic kind of set of practices, obscure occult practices that nobody knew what they were about, and it didn't help the world that we had a lot of fake tantrics who would just smear ash and so on and pretend to be tantrics, whereas they didn't really understand the essence of tantra, most of them. So the West understood, and if you look at, for example, Kriya Yoga or Kundalini Yoga, Kundalini is a pure tantric concept. Now, Kundalini forms part of what we call Samyachar, which is an entire internal worship of Mother Goddess, almost formless to a great degree. Now, when that was happening, alongside around 1905, there was another American occultist called, I think, Pierre Bernard or something. He was mostly interested in the sexual aspect of Tantra. Now, really, there was no sexual aspect as such, but there was the concept of Panchamakar. Panchamakar is Matasya, which is fish, Madira, which is wine, Mas, which is meat, Mudra, which is handlocks or parched grains, or bodily positions, poses in Tantra. And fifth was Maithun, which was actual copulation. It so happened that the Americans took a shine to this, and eventually, what happened, they took out all the rituals. So, no chanting, no invocation, no divinity, and it became only about just sexual experiences and sensual experiences. Now, that's one thing that was happening. Parallelly, what happened in India prior to that period, around 1500 years ago or even before, our scriptures went overseas, and Buddhist monks were the first ones to take them overseas, notably to Tibet. In Tibet, it got mixed with what they used to call the Bon religion, one of the original shamanic religions of Tibet. So there they got mixed. They used to worship a goddess called Tara. And from there emerged a practice called Mahachinakrama, which the original name of it was Mahachinatara, Mahachinatara, Mahachinatara Krama, and it became Mahachinakrama, which involved a female and a male. And this became very popular. So when those shamanic practices came back to India, all the states that share a border with Tibet, notably Sikkim or Kashmir or Himachal Pradesh, and I think one more state that shares Arunachal Pradesh, I think. So there, Tantra took on a different form. And alongside, we had this Shat Karma in Tantra. And eternally, if you look at our basic nature, we are always looking for a shortcut. We are always wanting to do whatever it is that we want to get accomplished in an easier fashion, faster, better, cheaper, and so on. So when a Vamachari, somebody practicing the left-handed path of Tantra, or a Mishrachari would be sitting in the cremation ground praying, it would attract a lot of attention. Now, I know some of you are not going to believe me, and I'm not here to convince you. I'm not here to convince you about the origins of Tantra or my own research or my experiences or the knowledge or wisdom I've received from my own guru and other tantric masters. But my job is to put the truth out there for you. And rest, it's up to you to believe or not believe, to take it or leave it. And that's entirely your call. It's not my prerogative, it's yours. So when that was happening, people started believing that these tantric, the so-called tantrics, could actually change their fortune, and combined with the tribal practices and the shamanic practices, the real tantra, whose core objective was the realization of Shakti, realization of Mother Goddess, started to disappear and dissipate. It became all about just obscure practices that people thought made sense or didn't make sense, but maybe some tantric is doing some kritya, it's called, some prayogas, launching maybe maran karma or shanti karma even sometimes, but all the other shat karma that I spoke about, the six kind of actions you can perform with tantra. Now, across these paths that we spoke about, one of the path is Vamachar, which is the left-handed path of Tantra, which has, like I spoke about, these practices, Mahachinkram, Lata Sadhan, Shava Sadhan, Panchamundi, Navmundi, and so on, and many, many Bhairav, kinds of Bhairav Puja. Although Tantra is not just about Bhairav Puja or Devi Upasana. There is Saur Tantra, which is linked to the sun worship. There is Ganpatya Tantra, which is linked to worship of Lord Ganesha. There is Shakt, which is Mother Goddess, which this app is predominantly concerned with. And then there is Shav Tantra, which is praying to Lord Shiva. And then there is Vaishnav Tantra, which is praying to a form of Lord Vishnu. And Pancharatra texts of Vaishnavism are talk about those tantric practices. And one of the core texts, if you want to read, is Lakshmi Tantra. I've spoken a great deal about it in the past as well. In Kashmir, a certain school of thought started to emerge called Kolachar, which is one of the core, one of the original tantric schools. Now, Kola emerged from the word Kula. Kula means a clan or a lineage. So in this practice, in this school, it was strictly guru to disciple oral transmission. And these were also the days when there were no manuscripts, no written word. This was all before all of that emerged. Now, Kolachar talked about the highest good, realizing of the great potential. But as I shared with you, when the influence of Tibet and other practices emerged and they mingled, Kolachar took on a different form. And if you want to read, if you want to know more, you can read Kularnav Tantra, where you would understand a bit more of the Kola practice. Now, when all of this happened, there is one called Divyachar, which is a form of Dakshinachar. Divyachar is the divine conduct. Divyachar was first given to Bhagwan Parshurama by Lord Dattatreya. So he expounded on Tripura Rahasya and provided that esoteric knowledge and wisdom to Lord Parshurama. The beauty of Divyachar is you can realize the 10 forms of Mahavidyas, this Mahavidya, which this app is about, that medium that we have created for you, through Divyachar. So what I have done in this, and all the practices that you see in this app across the 10 Mahavidyas, I have personally done every single one of them. There is one of Chinnamasta Devi, which is called Khandamanda Sadhana, or sometimes Navakhanda Sadhana. There in the app, you see actual offering of the physical body, but in the actual sadhana, you offer it mentally. So that's the only difference. All the other sadhanas that you see from Kali to Kamlatmika, I've done every single one of them. So this app that I've created, it is based on my distilled experience. And the reason for creating this app is to share with you the world of Tantra in a way that you're not misguided and you're not fearful, you're not afraid, so that you can still at least understand the rituals involved, so you can still at least understand what it takes to invoke goddess. And there is something which is very important to mention here. When we talk about Tantra, please understand that the 10 Mahavidyas can only be invoked as Mother Goddess. So Kali is not just Kali, Kali is Ma Kali. If somebody is referring to goddess as like Kali, Tara, this and that and the other, as if they're like friends or just this, that is not the way to go. Although the ideal, the highest goal of Tantra is to become one with your object of worship. So you become one with your deity. If you become one with your object of worship, then you embody the same qualities as your object of worship. That is really that is where it differs from a pure bhakti yoga or dvaita, which says, I am Jivatma, you are Paramatma, I can never be you, I'm not trying to be you, but I'm just happy you are there. But in Tantra, we say, let me purify myself to such a degree, break all my conditioning in a fashion that, oh Mother Goddess, you reside in me. Now, yoginis, yakshinis, and pishachinis, and other lower forms of energies, you can invoke either as a sister, like assume them to be a sister or a friend or something, Sahachari, Bharya, and so on. But Mother Goddess, you can only ever invoke as a child. So she only is ever invoked as a mother, which means there is always an element of divyachar in proper tantric worship, no matter how rigorous or crude the rituals might appear to be. So in this app, Tantra app, Tantra Sadhana app, what we have done is I've exposed you to the purest form of worship. There is no short karma in this app, which means you cannot do Maranu, Chatan, and so on. But there is a way for you to gain the grace of Divine Mother. And do you require initiation? Of course not. It follows the path of self initiation. And because I've personally experienced these sadhanas, and what I have shared with you is a path to get to the main ritual. So by the time you get to the main ritual, you would already have developed a certain devotion towards Divine Mother or that particular form from, like I said, Kali to Kamlatmika and everyone in between, whether that's Ma Tara or Matripur Sundari, Ma Bhairavi or Dhumavati and so on. So just so you know, there is not a tantric text, any major tantric text that I haven't read. So I know exactly what I'm talking about. In the last, this body is 45 years old. So in the last more than, I would say 35 years at least, I have done extensive study of Tantra. So there is not a major tantric scripture or text or the Vedic source of it that I haven't read. I've read all of them. And the sadhanas that I share with you, it's not like I read in a book and I thought, oh, I should go and try this sadhana with you. I was initiated into all those sadhanas, which authorizes me to share it with those who can benefit from it. And I have kept the whole thing very sattvic, very beautiful, but very authentic. So my own first guru, not my first guru, but my main guru, Naga Baba, my pretty much only Diksha guru in life, he was a Tantra Samrat. He actually was given that upadhi. And he spent 12 years in Kamakya. He spent 8 years on the cremation grounds of Banaras, Manikarnika Ghat. And he spent 2 years on a boat. He spent 8 years in Vindhyachal, or 12 years, I forget now. And he spent 9 years standing. And every year he would do Jal Dhara, Jal Vihar, and Panchagni Dhuna. So he spent his entire life doing various tantric practices. And from him, I got a couple of sadhanas. And then there was Swami Karunananda. He was one of the finest tantrics I've ever met. Throughout his life, he never missed an Amavasya when he wouldn't do his Kaulik and Kapalik sadhana. I was initiated into those sadhanas by him. He also gave me Mahachinakrama and Lata Sadhan and Shava Sadhan. And Panchmundi and Navmundi I got from Naga Baba. And then there was the first one that my own uncle, who initiated me into Aranya Sadhana, and he initiated me into Piplika Sadhana. You will see what those sadhanas are when you experience the app. Now, to you and for you, I've made it extremely simple because I really believe we must democratize sadhana. And you might be wondering, if you're not initiated into it, can any harm befall? Can any harm come on you? The answer is absolutely not. When you are going to do the preliminary practices that we've configured in each world, and I will share with you what those are in a moment, you are pretty much self-initiating yourself. And I have this firm belief that if you are opening this app to pray to Goddess with the highest good, how can any harm come your way? As they say, kuputro jayat kvachidapi kumatana bhavati. That our intentions may not be all that noble as children, but a mother is never kumata. A mother is always only going to ever want the absolute best for you. And there is no other way that a mother would operate. So I think we can perhaps pretty much get into the app now. I'd be happy to give you a little demo. Maybe just bear in mind two things. One, it may seem a little cumbersome to you using this app, but bear in mind there is a method to this madness. There is a reason I've created this app the way it is done. And I can share with you that reason. It's not like I have to keep it a mystery. The primary reason is if you're not prepared to do self exploration, if you're not prepared to work for your sadhana, then you are also not ready to be initiated into it. Then you're also not ready to actually do it. So, even though it may seem like a game, but please, even for a moment, don't think it's a game. The reason it may look like a game is because I wanted you to experience the immersive nature of each world where you'll be performing that sadhana. And thanks to technology and thanks to our amazing development partners, all overseas, Alexander and his team, who did a phenomenal job over the last 2 years in building and even going beyond our expectations with what we wanted done, even on a like a smaller kind of phone, lower quality phone or basic phone. It works without heating up the phone. It works phenomenally well, and so on. The app size is a little large, but please don't complain about that. We are doing our best to do what we can. It will reduce in the future, but right now, I think to download 2 GB or 1.3 GB of data for worship of Mother Goddess is the smallest, easiest thing anybody can be expected to do. Now, going back to this, if you are performing this, it may seem that, oh, I have to find my way around it. But the reason I've made it that way, the reason we've configured it that way is because I'd like you to work a little. I'd like you to enjoy the journey a little. It would benefit you from experiencing that world and doing the things you ought to be doing in that, so that when you go and perform the main ritual of each world, you are truly in it. You are truly devoted. So there is no way to hasten the process that we have created in here. So you're always going to start your journey from Ma Kali. That's the first Mahavidya. Now, we could have opened it in a fashion that you could go to any world first. But, there is a beautiful verse in Lalita Sahasranama. Mahatantra, Mahamantra, Mahayantra, Mahasana, Mahayaga Kramaradhya, Mahabhairava Pujita. Oh, Mother Goddess, you are Mahatantra, the greatest Tantra. You are Mahamantra, the greatest mantra, the sonic energy. And Tantra is the physical energy, the expansion of consciousness. The word Tantra itself means that. Tan means, so there is a word called Tan Matra, you might be knowing that. It means our, our psychical experiences, our sensual experiences, but sensory, but psychical experiences, Shabda, Sparsh, Ras, Roop, Gandh, touch, sight, taste, smell, and so on. 5 of those. And then Tan is also from the word thread. And Tra is, it means 2 things, expansion as well as protection, tras or expansion. So one that expands your consciousness is Tantra. You cannot hope to expand your consciousness if you are not going to break the tendencies of the mind, one of which could be laziness. That, oh, just give it to me on a platter and I'll take it and I'll run with it. I want you to work for it. What I have done is I have really simplified it for you, but ultimately it's something that I'd like you to work for, because the objective of creating this app is only and only to enrich your life. And if you for a moment think of me as a doctor and think of, let's say, yourself as a patient. I know you're very impatient, but let's say you're a patient. You're a patient. Then I must give you the advice that I believe will benefit you, as opposed to the advice that I believe will benefit me. And that's really the basis of this app, of this. So you will be praying to Divine Mother in her purest form. As I was explaining, Mahatantra, Maha Mantra, Mahayantra, Mahasana. You have the greatest seat, and the greatest seat is one's heart, the purest heart. And Mahayaga Kramaradhya, the greatest yagna, But you are prayed in a krama, in a sequence, kramaradhya. So Mahayaga kramaradhya, Mahabhairav pujita. That, O Divine Mother, even the great Bhairava, Lord Shiva, prays to you. You are, if at least not prays to you, you are revered even by him. So it is with that sentiment that you're going to benefit the most if you use this app. And it is with that sentiment that I've created this app. So I think I have spoken enough. Why don't I take you into the app, shall we? So I'm gonna share my screen with you. Screen sharing is, so please give me a moment. Okay. So I hope you can see this and you can hear me and everything. Now I just have to quickly ensure that, sorry. Okay, great. Now, just anybody in the comment, on YouTube comments, I've opened it on the side. So just now, can you please just somebody say you can see my screen? Yes? Can you see the yeah, okay, great, lovely, lovely. Now, so my voice is clear, the music is not too loud, right? Okay, great. Okay, lovely. All right, so this is what we called the map, the realm map of 10 Mahavidyas. And so once you log into the app, there's a tutorial that you will go through. And once you go over the tutorial, it will teach you all aspects of the app that you need to know. Now, once you're in it, you will see this world, and it starts with, let's say, Kali. So if I go to Kali, you can see the main sadhana that is there for each world. And so I'm just going to give you a little preview, although the app will be downloadable, I believe, tonight itself. So app is called Tantra Sadhana app. And this is to awaken the 10 Mahavidyas. So there is Ma Kali, Ma Tara, Ma Tripur Sundari, Ma Bhuvaneshwari. And out of love, you can just call them, okay, Bhuvaneshwari, but it's always Ma. And then there is Ma Bhairavi. Each mother goddess, each form of hers has a world of her own that you will have to experience and find things in that, and I will explain what I mean in a moment. And then Ma Dhumavati, Ma Bagalamukhi, and Ma Martangi, and Ma Kamatnika, the last one. So if I go back here for a moment, you have a companion in this, a beautiful little dog. And so this dog is not just an NPC, what we call non-playable character. Instead, it's in fact it's very, sorry, somebody said please background music is so loud. Okay, I couldn't hear that. Is it better now? Yes. Okay. So, okay. Sorry, that I hope messed up your experience a little. I hope did not, but anyway, you haven't missed out on much. So we have this character like a dog, and there are different dogs to choose from, because every good tantric ought to have a good dog. And this dog, actually, whatever you choose and name you give that dog, so I'm just gonna leave it there. So there are, like, as I said, 10 or a few different varieties to choose from. They actually, the dog you choose will actually guide you in the world. You'll be able to navigate the world with the dog. So if you don't know where to go, you will be able to see the dog, and you'll be able to see the path through the dog. Sorry, I'll go back here. Now, what I'll do, I will actually take you into this world. So I'm going to begin the quest. I hope it's already loaded. If not, okay, you're lucky. So when the first time you log in, each world will kind of give you a little tutorial. So so this tutorial is yes, somebody's asking, can you stream it from your phone to TV? Of course you can. You can do anything you want. Remember, you're a great tantric now, so you should be able to accomplish anything. So so this initial world gives you the preview, and you are guided by Vedvyasa. At every step in the app, you are guided by Vedvyasa. So he will tell you what your next step is, what you ought to do, and if you ever lose your way, you can call upon the dog. Whatever name you give your dog. Now, I do want to mention one thing here. Please know that the app is completely free. But there's a caveat. But caveat doesn't mean you have to pay. So you can use this entire app, do all the rituals, do all the practices, explore all the worlds completely free. You don't have to pay even a cent if you don't wish to. So I've just stopped the music for a moment. So you don't have to pay anything at all. It's completely free because we did not want any barriers for anybody to be able to explore the beauty of Sanatana Dharma, our Atharva Veda, and our practices that have been existing since eons. So you should be able to experience the glory of it. So as I said, so in the beginning of each world, you see Vedvyasa. So you go, and what I'm doing here is I'm controlling this like with my left and right thumb. So if I touch on the right side, you see this eye thing come up. If I move my thumb a little, then it shows you a different view. And if I do the left one, then I can move. So I'm just going to go to Vedvyasa. And sorry. So I started going the other way. Talk about mindfulness. Now you can pay obeisance to him. So we have taken care of our culture and heritage. Actually, it's a little thing. I'm just going to show you how he pays the obeisance. So you can choose from a male avatar or a female avatar. So you can just do that. So a lot of people are saying they cannot find the app on Play Store. I believe it will be launched sometime tonight, and the team can tell you in this. You can also go to the website tantrasadhana.app. So, and then you can hear Vedvyasa.
Namaste.
So
You stand at the threshold of a path few dare to walk. The Shava Sadhana dissolves fear, burns afflictions, and
but you can
invites.
also obviously stop the voiceover and you can just go, yes, master, because you guys belong to the great Yuga, Kali Yuga. You all don't have any time. So that's fabulous. So I'm told that app is already there live on the app stores. So I don't know why you can't find it, but maybe you can go to the website and go from there. Now, so Vedvyasa is always chanting one of Devi's this thing, but you can move away from him if you so wish. He's told you what to do. If you tap on this eye icon, you can see what all you need to do in this world. So find the owl to solve a puzzle, find a chanting ground and chant, and find the donkey to solve a puzzle, ingredient bundles collected, blah, blah, blah. And I'll tell you, basically, there are two, I will stop the music for a moment. There are two preparatory rituals that you have to do in this app before you can unlock the main ritual. There are two preparations you have to do, and that is chanting as well as fire offerings. So japa and yagna you have to do for at least 11 days before you can start to do the main ritual. So main ritual is either for 21 days or 40 days depending on which sadhana it is. Now, 11 days of preparation rituals or prerequisites and 21 days minimum of main ritual or 40 days depending on which sadhana. For example, in Matripur Sundari sadhana, the Shri Yantra sadhana, it's minimum 40 days. So you have to do those rituals, and that let's say we talk about Ma Kali, so that's 21 days plus 11 days, 33 days. So once you do 33 days, you have completed one cycle. After you have completed that one cycle, the next world will unlock for you. And if you really like this ritual, you can then come back anytime and just do the ritual, or do the whole world once again if you so wish. It's entirely your choice. But you need to go through one full cycle, which is minimum of 33 days, before the new world will unlock for you. And somebody is asking, can householders do this puja? Yes, male, female, children, householders who are not good at holding down their houses, even those, whether you are menstruating or not, whether you have eaten or not, whether you eat non-vegetarian, vegetarian, pescatarian, eggetarian, whatever you are, you can do these sadhanas. It's all part of Divyachar, the highest form of worship, because pretty much you are fully immersed in it. You are performing manasik worship, the mental chanting. So somebody is saying app is not downloading at all. It is showing the app is not compatible with your device. I don't know about that. So you'll have to figure it out. Maybe please feel free to write to the support team. Now, by the way, this is available in both Hindi and English. So if I go here and I go to settings and I go to language, I can see everything in Hindi now. But I will just go back to English. So now, as you know, Vedvyasa asked me to go and find the owl. So I'm just going to turn the music back on. I hope it's not too loud. And I'm going to go and go to the owl. Now, in case I don't know where this owl is, I can call upon Akida. But I will demonstrate that in a moment. So by the way, we also have these relics throughout. So if you collect those, unlock those symbols, what you do is you gain points. And I'll tell you. So, sorry, there is a message. Okay, that's an old one. So you can, so then it tells you the significance of that symbol. It's related to that goddess. So you earn points. Now, I wanted to tell you about the how it works. Basically, for every ritual that you do, you earn points, and points give you the mudras. So if you ever want to buy the ingredients from the shop internally, you can do that. Or you can simply do the rituals and you will earn enough mudras to buy it. You never have to pay a dime, like I said, to buy any of this. Now, if I go back here, so this is the owl.
Namaste. Ma Kali's mantra is...
So we will be improving some of this voiceover. So you'll have to solve this puzzle to gain some points. If you don't want to solve this puzzle, you can simply go to the shop and straight away buy the ingredients for the yagna that you need. To see what this looks like, so I'm just going to actually first the tutorial was there. If I press on this this thing here, the question mark sign, then I can see what I need to complete. But if you are somebody who doesn't have the patience, because you're very special and you always want everything now, then you can always click on this. It's going to use a clue. So if I use one clue, then I am now only 3 steps away from solving this. So there you go.
You have unlocked Ma Kali's mantra. Fine.
So I've just stopped this thing. Now I need to find the chanting ground, for example. I won't show you the whole ritual, but you need to find the chanting ground. So what I can do, I can either go look for it myself, which is perfectly okay. You have the right to do that, to explore the world, and if you do that, you will find more relics and things on the way. Or I can feed Akida. In this case, the dog's name is Akida. That's the default name. So I've tapped on that icon that you saw for feeding, and there you go. It was a good sport. All right. So and Akida is very happy with you. He's happy to now lead you to your path. So now you don't have to, and you earn 10 points for feeding him. So if I press it here on that, so he's gonna lead me to the chanting ground. Where are you, Akida? Okay, there he is. So I just have to now follow him. Which means I don't have to use my own brain, which I'm sure you like to reserve for better things. But see, I saw this thing. So what you see in my hand is a staff. So this is like a tantric magical staff, and what you have, these lit up things are yagna ingredients. So whenever you see them, collect that bundle, because as I said, I would like you to explore and work towards it. So you'll have to collect these bundles to be able to do the yagna, because each yagna uses ingredients, sacred ingredients. And if you don't want to spend time, you can always buy that in the shop. But like I said, you don't have to pay even a cent. All of that is completely free if you are willing to do the ritual. So I just saw this one more thing, so I'm gonna collect that as well. And if I see this lit up thing, this is my chanting ground. So Akida is blocking my chanting ground. Akida, what are you doing? Okay, so I think yeah, so right now it's yes,
You have arrived at the chanting ground,
like a
home
typical
to the
dog.
ruins of an
He
ancient.
was just in his own world. Now I'm getting given, Vedvyasa gives me some instructions to so then this, you can choose whether you wish to chant 27, 54 or 108 times. If you tap on it, it'll tell you how long it will take you, 54 times and so on. And there is auto chanting.
Listen carefully to every syllable of her mantra.
Okay, so I'm just gonna say yes. So it's gonna sit down. You can chant internally, and you can turn this on,
Om Hrim Hrim.
or I can turn off the sound and just chant internally, and I can tap anywhere to progress to the next bead. If I don't want to, I can tap anywhere on the screen, or like I said, I can do the auto mode. So I won't go through this whole thing. So if I go back, stop chanting. Now I may also show you the shop, this thing. So what we have is the shop shows you the mudras you can buy. There is for the fire offerings, for the clues, or for the dog, if you want the dog to guide you. But like I said, if you do the chanting, or if you do yagna, or if you do other rituals, you don't have to buy anything. As you as you go along, you will keep gathering points. And if you get points, you're getting mudra. So even if you want to buy something, you can, but you can always pick anything. For example, for yagna, you can just go around, collect all those bundles, and do your yagna completely free. You can solve the puzzle completely free, and everything else in the app, including the main ritual. So I'm saying this again and again because over and over again, we repeatedly face this flack a lot. Anytime there is any price for anything, we get a whole lot of people telling us dharma should be free, this should be free, that should be free. And sometimes it really wastes my team's time to go through all those queries relentlessly and to put up with all that trolling. So this is completely free, but all you have to do is do the map, do the rituals. If I go back, by the way, that's your profile. If I go back to the realm for a moment, now here you see which day you are on of your sacred preparation. So as I shared with you, first 11 days is the preparation rituals before you unlock Ma's Shava Sadhana in this case. And you would have to do over 11 days at least 1008 chants and 11 fire offerings, 11 times yagna and 1008 chants. So once you've done that, it'll be good. Now, I would love to show you the third ritual, but for that you'll have to wait 11 days, and at least I should have done at least 1008 chants. That's when that ritual will be unlocked. But there is another way I could show you the main ritual. So if in your message, if you say, do you want to see the main ritual? Anybody wish to see the main ritual? Okay, good. Okay. Yeah, you can eat onion, garlic. You can eat anything. Even for all the sadhanas I give you, I never stop people from eating whatever they want to eat. It's entirely your decision. I've spoken a fair bit about it. Anyway, so I'm going to stop sharing. The reason I'm going to stop sharing is because you are very lovely people. And if you want to see the main ritual, then I'll have to share a different screen. So we took a screen grab of the main ritual. Now I'm just gonna. So what happens when you get to the main ritual? You will go here. So obviously the whole ritual is pretty long. It's not 30 minutes because there is something else in this video, but I will show you the glimpses. So this is Shava Sadhana, and
Om Kling Kandarpaya Namaha.
Right.
Om Aing Manmathaya Namaha. Om Bloom
So once
Makardhvaya Namaha. Om String Manobhavaya Namaha. Ang Shraddhaya Namaha. Ang Pritaya Namaha. Ing Rattaya Namaha. Ing Bhutaya Namaha.
Any specific niyamas or prerequisites? Like I said, it's divyachar. It's the highest form of worship. The cleaner your heart is, the more you will benefit. It may seem like it's a game, but like I said, it's not a game. This is just a medium for you to experience this. So people are asking, is it safe to do these sadhanas at home? Yes, of course. It's if it wasn't, I wouldn't have put them in there. See, you must never ever have any fear of anything. It's very important to be fearless in life. Can a mother ever harm you? And and really just experience it for yourself and see. When I launched Sadhana app, so many people were wondering, oh, do these things actually even ever work? will this be of any use, but shouldn't it be done? And then over the last 3 years, we saw so many lives being transformed and people writing to us almost every single day with great things, and they benefited from it. Antarmukh Samaradya Bahirmukh Durlabha. She is to be worshipped internally. This is Samyachar, this is Divyachar of highest kind. So I'll let you see a bit of the Shava Sadhana. Hope you can hear the verses. I've painstakingly recorded every single verse myself. So I'm just gonna go a little further. So this is part of Kapalik Sadhana. It is always done before a Shava Sadhana. So I have documented that entire process, including the mantras, everything. And you do this chanting, I'm just screaming through, and then you get to you mount the corpse, the Shava, and then you start making those offerings. Now the Shava Sadhana main ritual starts. As you can see, it's 8 minutes long. So I'm just gonna take you further.
Om yang vahve pranadhipataye imam balim grinapya vigna nivaranam kritva mam siddhim pracha swaha.
So I'm just gonna take you further to show you what happens when this ritual is complete.
Ruge rakshani swaha. Yat pratyarthe balitvain dattavyam kunjaradikam dinantare cha dasyami swanam kathyasva me.
Brave seeker, I am Kali. I am the essence of all beings, living and dead.
Tum Kali iti satyam kuru.
I am pleased with your relentless persistence. So, today, I will show you. Yes, I am Kali.
You have called upon me with devotion, and I have heard you. Your penance and courage have brought you into my embrace, my child. As a reward, I grant you a boon, one of your choosing. Use it wisely for yourself, a loved one, or a greater purpose. From this moment, my grace surrounds you. Walk fearlessly, for I am always with you.
So I'm just going to pause here for a moment. So what happens when you complete the main ritual, like complete as in complete one cycle of it, whether it's 21 days or 40 days, you will then have this, not only just the vision as I perceived it, but also this boon, what we so-called. So you'll collect this so-called coin. It looks like a coin, but it's actually a boon, like a seal. And then you can use that in the future towards greater good for somebody that you would want to benefit, for shanti karma or for good, for somebody's good. Now people are asking, can you do it with a real dead body? I hope not. You don't have to. This is, like I said, divyachar, dakshinachar of highest quality, where you are doing it all mansik. When this is happening, you don't have to chant any mantras except for the mantra in the chanting itself, which you can do in your mind, and we are displaying that mantra on the screen. For all the other mantras, you just have to tap, and that's good to do with immersion. And people are asking, is it safe to do without a guru? Maybe I should put myself on a loop and tell you Yes, 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 yes. It's safe. If it wasn't, I wouldn't have put it out there. I have not put any Shat Karma in this, which I spoke to you about Sammohan, Vashikaran, Uchchatan, Vidveshan, Maran, and Stamban, and so on. And all those Einsteins who are claiming here that this will bring disastrous consequences and so on, they have absolutely no idea what they are talking about. I speak from experience. I don't just speak from books or from half baked podcasts or preconceived notions. I speak from experience. I deeply care about you and I deeply care about our Sanatan Dharma. And it is my job to put the truth out there. Think about it. We have spent several crores of rupees to build this app. And internally, we did not have that kind of resources. A small group of 5 people in total, I think 4 people, five. One of they all wish to remain anonymous. At least our biggest supporter, he wishes to remain anonymous. Very, very kind person. And the other one, equally kind, very sweet. They all stepped in to make this a reality. And our internal resources, are some of our people took pay cuts to make sure that we can support this app, we can build it. So we have not built it to make money, and we are not expecting it to make money. As I said to you, everything is free in this app. You can do all the rituals, and it's perfectly okay. So so you are totally safe. In fact, if you are so afraid of Divine Mother, you shouldn't be praying at all. You should do what gives you joy. If you're so afraid of Mother Goddess, then I don't really think you've understood the very essence of Sanatan Dharma. I think you have bought into the lies and the misguidance of those whose agenda is not dharma. It is something else. They are maybe out there constantly talking about this, and they may appear very brilliant, but it's up to them, and it's entirely your call. You can believe, or you may not believe. Either way, I'm okay. And as I said, my job is to share with you the world as I see it. If, for example, you're doing 11 days and in between you miss a day, look, it's not a problem. You just come back the next day. I believe that's how it's configured, unless, of course, it resets to day one, in which case, well, not a problem again. You just have to spend a bit more time. And this is also your portal into Sri Vidya. For those of you who are interested in Sri Vidya, I will speak about that briefly once we complete this cycle here. Now, I wanted to understand, um, would you like to have a sneak peek at Ma Tara's world? Um, because if you do, then I will show you some of that. And somebody asked, can you um, can you do it on Sadhana Tablet? Yes, absolutely. It's sheer joy to do it on Sadhana Tablet because you get like a bigger screen and a bigger processor and so on. So, okay. So I'll give you a sneak preview of Matara's sadhana, which is Shamshana Tara sadhana. Matara is of bluish hue. She's also called Neel Saraswati. And she's one of the main goddesses in Buddhism as well. Like I said, Mahajinakrama came from her. So this is a little preview on what happens when we go there. You draw this triangle, Dikbandhan, it's called. It's a very, very important aspect of sadhana. Some people are asking those repeated questions. So looks like you were either not here when I started this stream, or you joined later or something, or you did not listen. So please just go back and watch this stream all over again when it starts. So I'm just gonna go a bit further and further. And once he's activated the Dikbandhan, which is activating the 10 of these. Each world, our team has painstakingly built each world. Each world is very authentic, different to how So then you start your sadhana after you spread the mat, sit on
Om.
it, and you place the skull. And like I said, this ritual is, I will just, so then as you do, these wild animals come, but they cannot enter the triangle. So they will stay there. I'll take you right to the end.
Mahamaya uttare patu sarvada naivedyam samarpyami. Paschime patu ma devi
So I'll
le ghore durgama shrignavatu naivedyam samarpyami. पातु नित्यं महेशानि सर्वत्र शिवदूतिका कवचस्य च महात्म्यं नाहं वर्षात्रपि नैवेद्यं समर्पयामि.
So you'll get now a glimpse of Matara. So that's it. I'll stop there. Okay, so I'll stop this share here. So now you've pretty much seen this whole thing, and just bear in mind, this is the beginning of the app. This is just the first version. Like we have improved the core sadhana app so much, we will improve this app as well as we go along, which would include like study materials and swadhyaya, and also maybe more tutorials, and like some of you are asking for the actual mantras and not and so on. So now I think it's interesting. Somebody is saying that how many does this entire sadhana require, and will 33 or 51 days be enough? So somebody said, how much did it cost to create this app? It's several crores of rupees, in the vicinity of around 7 CR, including some of our internal resources. I have nothing to hide. I'm here to share everything with you. I always say, ask a question at your own peril, because you will get the truth, and truth may not always be rosy. Now, to complete one cycle, now I have to talk to you about Sri Vidya for a moment. So to complete one cycle of all 10 worlds will take you roughly 423 days, because each world has 11 days of preparation, like preparatory rituals, and then 21 or 40 days of main ritual. So if you club all that, it comes to 423 days to complete the entire 10 Mahavidya cycle, which, let me tell you, it's just extraordinarily cheap. It's so easy, because usually it can take lifetimes before anybody gets even a glimpse or get exposed to this beautiful knowledge, or is able to do all these things. Now, once you've done the whole 10 Mahavidyas, you will then be required to do, and now this is for those who are interested in Sri Vidya, and I'm telling you why. You will be required to do 10 times Matripur Sundari's cycle again, which will take you roughly 360 days. Now, 423 plus 360 is 783 days. So you are roughly 2 years away, 2 years and maybe few months, maybe 2 months away from really doing the full-on Sri Vidya Sadhana. So in this one, we have elaborate worship of Sri Yantra. So it's there. So you are doing Sri Vidya Sadhana. But the actual Sri Vidya Sadhana is about Matripur Sundari's main sadhana, which could be done with Panchadashi or Shodashi or Mahashodashi, or even a form of Bala Tripur Sundari, and 15 Nityas, from Kameshwari to Mahanitya. Or 16th is Mahanitya, Mother Divine herself. So Kameshwari, Bhagmalini, and so on. So that whole cycle will again take time. Now, could I have hastened the process? I've expedited it as much as possible. You see, I told you in the very beginning, I do not offer shortcuts. If there are other people who are offering you better things faster, please feel free to go there, do that. I don't know what that's like. I only offer you the real thing and the highest good and the genuine worship of Mother Goddess, because I don't dabble with the lower forms of energy or anything like that. Although I have done some of those sadhanas, and maybe if in the end it's in the end it's required, then maybe it's required. So I just would like to thank our team, VSF's CEO Priyanka, our supporters, all those who have supported us over 3 years period. Every single thing you did mattered, because otherwise we wouldn't be able to bring you all these amazing things. And our philanthropists, our donors, like I said, 5 of those people who made it possible for us to roll out something as extraordinary as this. In a way, this is my lifetime's work. After this, pretty much the only other major app that I will work on will be the Shri Vidya app, but that's at least a while away. I don't know how long that will take at this stage, but hopefully if you are doing the whole 10 cycles, by the time you're done with that, we should be ready with that app. But it's a significant amount of work, and we have not yet raised the full funding requirements for that, but we've already have commitments. So we will start ASAP. I just have to take time out for more of that. And a big thanks to Vikram Om Bhatt, who's our Chief Operating Officer, but more importantly, the product lead on this, who really worked day and night on this. So thank you. And the entire VSF team, our trustees, as well as the development team. Most of them are based in Ukraine. They've absolutely been mind-blowing for us, guys. Thank you so much, Alexander. The CEO is also Alexander, and the PM his name is Alexander. So thank you so much. You made it possible for us. It's been sheer joy to work with you. I'm saying this because I believe they've joined us here as well. So to answer your question briefly, initiation is not required. Anybody from any age can do it. I speak from experience. I started Tantra Sadhana so early on in my life, then why can't you? And this is the highest form. There is no panchmakar in it as such. I mean, what you have is just those ingredients that you see, like shav and so on, but you're not consuming anything. And I really hope and I believe that you benefit from it greatly, and that the grace of Divine Mother continue to cascade down your consciousness and your life, and you continue to see the beauty of life that there is. Now, somebody is asking, should we stop consumption of alcohol and smoking? Absolutely no need to stop anything. I mean, of course, it's good to not drink for your health and not smoke for your health, but not from a sadhana perspective. You can start any day, and there is no specific muhurat. You can start anytime. If somebody's asking if you're a disciple of another guru, can you still do these sadhanas? I don't see why not. Please, absolutely, you can. And you can do this Mahavidya with this. Once again, this question, somebody's asking, can girls take break in sadhana during menstruation days? I mean, you can take a break if you want, but try to stick to the routine, because that's how you train the mind and consciousness, that you constantly keep doing the same thing over and over and over and over again, day in, day out, day in, day out, day in, day out, each day, every day, same time, and your mind starts to shift. It starts to become very beautiful. Somebody's asking, can we start with Ma Tripura Sundari? No, you cannot. You have to start with Ma Kali, as explained right in the beginning. Mahayaga Kramaradhya. Remember that you have to start in this. And so quite a few people are saying that they're not able to download this app, and it says device is not compatible for this app. So I don't know what the solution is, but you could maybe go to tantrasadhana.app, our website, and I believe there should be a contact button there. So you can drop a note to the support team, and hopefully they can then tell you what you can do. They can guide you what you can do. And so I think, thank you to all those who are saying very positive things. More than, I think around 50 or something full-time people work in Vedic Sadhana Foundation. They work very hard to make this possible for you to experience the beauties and gems of Sanatana Dharma at practically no cost to you. Almost everything is free, as I understand. So thank you. I hope you like this app. You go and use this and do something beautiful with your life. I've taken too much of your time. On that note, I will take your leave. Thank you very much again. We'll just do a closing chant. And I deeply appreciate you coming online and joining me here. And I hope, and you can do this Mahavidya sadhana with the other Vedic sadhana you may or may not be doing, your Nitya Karma, your other Purush Charanas. They can continue as is. This time commitment is not much at all that's required from you if you want. I mean, if you want to stay healthy, you have to work out in the gym. You have to eat right. Similarly, if you want to experience the world of sadhana, you'll have to take time out for it. I cannot do anything about that. So thank you very much again. We'll do the closing chant, and I'm very honored and grateful that you joined me. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamadachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Hari Om Tat Sat. Hari Om Tat Sat. Hari Om Tat Sat. Thank you. And I will see many of you, thousands of you, tomorrow morning at 5:15 a.m. IST. That's the last yagna of Mahavishnu Sadhana, which is live streamed in Sadhana app, as you know. So you can perform it interactively there. Thank you. Have a good night and look after yourselves and each other. Stay well, stay happy, chant the holy names, and be happy. Thanks. Bye.
नमोस्तु सूर्याय सहस्ररश्मये सहस्रशाखान्वितसम्भवात्मने सहस्रयोगोद्भवभावभागिने सहस्रसङ्ख्यायुधधारिणे नमः। यन्मण्डलं दीप्तिकरं विशालं रत्नप्रभं तीव्रमनादिरूपम् दारिद्र्यदुःखक्षयकारणञ्च पुनातु मां तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं। यन्मण्डलं देवगणैः सुपूजितं विप्रैस्तुतं भावनमुक्तिकोविदं तन्देवदेवं प्रणमामि सूर्यं पुनातु मां तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं। यन्मण्डलं ज्ञानघनन्त्वगम्यं त्रैलोक्यपूज्यं त्रिगुणात्मरूपं समस्ततेजोमयदिव्यरूपं पुनातु मां तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं। यन्मण्डलं गूढमतिप्रबोधं धर्मस्य वृद्धिं कुरुते जनानां यत्सर्वपापक्षयकारणं च पुनातु मां तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं यन्मण्डलं व्याधिविनाशदक्षं यदृग्यजुस्सामसु सम्प्रगीतं प्रकाशितं येन च भूर्भुवस्वः पुनातु मां तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं यन्मण्डलं वेदविदो वदन्ति गायन्ति यच्चारणसिद्धसङ्गाः यद्योगिनो योगजुषाञ्च सङ्गाः पुनातु मां तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं यन्मण्डलं सर्वजनैश्च पूजितं ज्योतिश्च कुर्यादिह मर्त्यलोके यत्कालकालाद्यमनादिरूपं पुनातु मां तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं यन्मण्डलं विष्णुचतुर्मुखाख्यं यदक्षरं पापहरं जनानां यत्कालकल्पक्षयकारणं च पुनातु मां तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं यन्मण्डलं विश्वसृजं प्रसिद्धम् उत्पत्तिरक्षप्रलयप्रगल्भम् यस्मिन् जगत्संहरतेऽखिलं च पुनातु मां तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं यन्मण्डलं सर्वगतस्य विष्णोः आत्मा परं धाम विशुद्धतत्त्वं सूक्ष्मान्तरैर्योगपथानुगम्यं पुनातु मां तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं यन्मण्डलं वेदविदोपगीतं यद्योगिनो योगपथानुगम्यं तत्सर्ववेद्यं प्रणमामि सूर्यं पुनातु मां तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं सूर्यमण्डलसुस्तोत्रं यः पठेत् सततं नरः सर्वपापविशुद्धात्मा सूर्यलोके महीयते इति श्रीभविष्योत्तरपुराणे श्रीकृष्णार्जुनसंवादे सूर्यमण्डलस्तोत्रम्।